This is Project Dart, a two-shot, mechanically operated, electronically firing, lithium-powered, rechargeable, wrist-mounted launcher. Now, DART stands for Direct Action Response Thingy, and it's perfect for giving that little bit of extra stopping power during your next little dart battle. Now, this little device is not to be confused with NASA's DART project, which, can save the planet. This device, however, saves me from those fierce little battles I'm currently having with Patty, and a bit more context to what that is. So recently, my mate Patty and I moved in together, and as two young, sexy, 20-year-old men would do, we had a lot of dart battles, for which I lost most of them. Which meant that I needed to use my expensive engineering degree to solve that problem that I had just invented. And for which I now present Project Dart. Now, winning dart battles isn't the only thing this thing is great for. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of problems that this solved which I didn't even realize I had. For example. Now, for me, this happens maybe 2-3 times a month. It's really important to try and manage it quite well. Now, this is where the gauntlet comes really into hand.
Get on the ground.
Put it down, you don't want to do this. Just think, what would Jesus be doing right now?
I'm talking to you. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Look at me, don't look at him, look at me. Now he's asked me to put the gun down, so I'm going to slowly lower my weapon. And like John McClane, I have a little backup now. The next step to do with hostage negotiation is you have to, one, disorientate the attacker. And just like that, you've now created confusion amongst the attacker. Now, thankfully, this thing has 2 shots. It's designed to have a second. So during this confusion, you take out the kill shot on the attack itself. And just like that, hostage situation has been completely resolved. So another thing that I really like about this design is this little Ant-Man trigger style at the front, which means that you can fire both launchers at the same time. So you can still work around and fire your normal little dart gun. Jimmy, can you hold this for a sec?
Sure.
And then you can do other things as well. So, for example, and still fire.
So with no chance of a misfire and very lightweight design, you can use it for a plethora of day-to-day activities. For example, when doing your taxes, when you're cooking,
I meant for you.
or when you're dropping the kids off to the pool.
And I can genuinely say this was a lot of fun both to build and to play with. It's one of my most fun practical and impractical projects I've ever done. And theoretically, it was super easy to build. Got the firing mechanism out of another little dart gun. The trigger mechanism is 2 solenoids wired to Arduino. Put a little lithium battery pack and a little cable so I can recharge it whenever I need to. And I even put in a little chunk here where I can have a laser pointer if I want to get super accurate, but I'm getting really good at shooting, so I don't need to. Now the components are easy to source. All you need is a 3D printer or someone who has a 3D printer to get to print these pieces for you. And we're putting up all the blueprints, all the designs, all the STLs on our Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, I want to say thank you to all our current subscribers. That's right, we currently don't have any, but you can change that. And this is generally one of the most fun things that I've recently designed and built as part of the path I've been on as an engineer. It just reminds me that engineering is not about maths and science, it's about problem solving. It doesn't need to be a large critical problem. It can be really small and stupid like this, but it's still a place to learn and to grow. And that's really why we create the Engineering Dads, and why we made videos for the engineering.
You busy? Good. I'm moving the hell out.
Okay. Like and subscribe, or else.